Hi, brother.
Good, buddy. How are you?
Yeah. Yes, every day is another day in paradise. Or so I seem to keep saying several times a day at the minute. I'm speaking to so many people.
Yeah, no,
How have you been doing?
not much, mate. Really, not much. Working, and
So,
chilling
I'm
during this lockdown.
yeah, I'm really conscious of our time, and I want to get to the nitty gritty because you and I had a little chat a few minutes
Yeah,
ago.
yeah,
We're brother Royal Marines,
yeah.
obviously former Royal Marines because we're old now. I don't mean
Old as
that.
we feel. Old as we feel.
Yeah, I say that jokingly. I really do. I honestly still feel 14, and I think I always have done.
Yeah, yeah,
But so you're down there in Australia, and you've got a mental Instagram page on which you're just completely honest about yourself, your past, your experiences, good and bad, and it really seems to be hitting the mark.
yeah. Been very lucky with it, really. I guess there's a big facade that you can get when you put up stuff on Instagram, and I decided when I moved to Australia, I was gonna be real with everyone and just say what was going on in my life and what's happened throughout that process. So maybe it can help another person or another guy that's maybe in the same situations as I was, and to see that they can move through it and learn from it and grow from it, and it can be one of the best things that's ever happened to them.
Ryan, do you think, by being honest and what you're essentially doing is you're supporting other people to see the truth in life, aren't you, and to find their own way.
Yeah,
Do you get that nice sort of feeling of satisfaction doing that?
yeah,
Like
I do.
a genuineness with like you're not being a fraud. You're actually like, this is me. I know that I've touched so many people today genuinely, and that they can learn from it.
Yeah, definitely, 100%. I think, like I said to you before as well, vulnerability is a superpower, and I think the more that I've been able to sit in that little vulnerability hammock, the more I've got comfortable in it. I made that analogy up there, and then I was quite happy with that. But so like, yeah, I just feel that the more I sit there and the more I get used to being vulnerable with people, the more that people open up and they can. Everyone's going through stuff. Everyone's going through something. I don't know anyone that isn't going through something. Or whatever it is. It's just relative to the individual. And yeah, I just find that it's been really helpful for me.
So give us a very it's got to be brief because, as I say, for friends watching, we've surprise, we've had technology problems. So
Yeah,
Ryan's very kindly been patient. Now we've got to keep this short. Quick synopsis of your lives, if you can.
yeah,
Doesn't
sure. Yeah, sure. Brought up in London. Brought up in a really rough area in London. It was pretty much like a war zone then. Then moved down south after a few incidences in London, into down to Torquay. Moved to a little like a seaside town after going from a big rough estate in London, and then after that I was in Torquay for a while. Then I was in the Marines for a short period of time as Limpston Commander at Limpsvits, as they like to say. Um, Got into a lot of steroids, drug abuse, sex addiction, everything that you can imagine. I was sort of addicted to, trying to get away from myself and my own pain and my own problems. And then when I got really deep into the drugs, I came out. I started to withdraw from them, mainly because I ran out of drugs. And then before you know it, I came through this other side in this whole process and started learning about myself and sitting with myself and understanding myself as an individual. And then after that, moved to Australia, and then the whole process sort of started to unfold a little bit there.
and
That's a very, very short synopsis of everything.
for our sort of commando type listeners, why did you said you spent a short time at Limpston? What happened there?
For me, I felt that, in all honesty, I felt the bravado and the way that things are run there wasn't really my thing anymore. I had enough. I found that the reason I was going in there was more for thinking it was going to make me better as a human being. It was going to fix me. It was going to make me this person that I thought I should be, or was told that I would be if I went into the forces. And then I found that it wasn't, and it wasn't for me. And I found that the bravado and the alpha maleness that is all around it, or on the surface around it, wasn't really for me, you know. And then I realized once I got to know people and all the other lads in there that they were just like me. They were just like, you know, not everyone obviously, but they were just like me in the sense that they were just trying to find their way as well. So yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you sold on that advert, 99% need not apply, you know, and all the camouflage and the dagger and everything, and it looks Gucci and it looks great. And then you realize you get in there and it's like, no, it's not necessarily what you think it's going to be. So.
No, that's a massive another conversation again. Hopefully one day we'll see 100% need not apply, and we won't be sending our young men off to war, you know. But yeah, so did the bodybuilding come after the Marines?
Yeah, bodybuilding came after the Marines. That sort of, I was always doing sort of some sort of fitness or training all the way through since I was a young lad, you know. But I noticed that the bodybuilding sort of came from all of my sort of trauma throughout my younger years in London, trying to then be the biggest, hardest, strongest thing that I ever was. Really build this big shell of a human being that was scary, that would make people push people away from me. When really, I just needed to have that connectiveness a bit more. So the bodybuilding sort of started then, and that was very big abuse, you know. So I really abused my body there, and that was when the drugs also started as well, you know.
Yes, so same for me, mate. When I started doing weights, which I did before I joined the course, I was about, I don't know, that's 17, 18, when you start thinking, I can buy some dumbbells. I think I bought some from a car boot sale or something, right? And I'm doing this at home, and the press ups had a pull-up bar. None of that was about fitness or about building a strong body. I think it was just about how I looked. I will say I was really into the bodybuilding magazines, like the Arnold Schwarzenegger stuff, and you mentioned a name earlier. What was the chap's name? He's
Dorian Yates,
all these huge guys, right? And I literally, there was a complete disconnect, because obviously I was too young, between what these guys doing to the body is seriously going to kill them young, and you know, and the vision in my head, which is, wow, a big like Arnie, he's a big successful character, right? I think if we all knew the truth behind what's the medical problems some of these have got, like kidney transplants, all this kind of stuff they've had to have because of all the you know, steroid is a poison your body long enough, you fuck your kidneys and your liver. And I happen to know, I'm not going to mention any names, but from insiders, that some of our most famous names used to have kidney dialysis 3 times a week, and then they'd you know, appear on your television set. So it's not pretty. Goes hand in hand. In some cases, I knew it went hand in hand with drug abuse, because I used to read the articles back in you know, I'm talking like social drug abuse, if I'm making sense, because obviously
it's suppressant, isn't it? For me, it was definitely a suppressant. Like bodybuilding was another form of suppressing emotion. So it was, you know, steroids are a dopamine receptive drug. They're a doer. They make you do. They're very sort of yang style energy, where it's just like get through, do things, and it sort of avoids the stuff in the background. So for me, that was a suppressant, and then that sometimes after a while doesn't become enough, and then the drugs on top of that then become another suppressant, and then you know, you've got violence, and then you've got anger and jealousy, and all these things become big distractions to take you away from stuff. And yeah, the stuff I put through my body, you know, huge doses of drugs and growth hormones and insulin and all sorts of different things. You know, I was a 24 stone guy walking around, you know, and just unhealthy as hell.
Did you say 24 stone?
Yeah, I was 24 stone, yeah.
Blimey, even at my biggest bodybuilding, I was still only about 14 stone.
Yeah, so.
And I was, you would have described me as huge as well.
Yeah, I was
God.
20 biggest, so. I had 22-inch arms. I was a big guy. I was a big lad.
So what do we get then, Ryan? What do we get out of spirituality, out of diet, and out of exercise, but a more productive form? Can you sum that up for us?
What do we get out of it?
Yeah, why do it? Why not just sit on a couch and watch telly?
Well, you can do that. It's your path, isn't it? You choose to do what you do, but then one day on a Wednesday at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, something's going to hit you. Something's going to happen to everyone. It happens to everyone. Some bad news from a neighbor or your family member or yourself, or something's going to come up where you're going to have to face all of the sort of demons that you've sort of avoided. And I think that, the only way most people go through this is through pain. They don't do it any other way. I've not known anyone. No one goes into spirituality and looking after themselves because they've just thought, it's a good thing to do. They do it because they've been put through some sort of pain. And with that pain becomes the growth. And you've got to find your own way through it and tangle through those weeds and go with the ebb and flow of everything. It's not easy. And what do you get through the other side? I guess what's my ultimate goal is not happiness. I think that's a marketed form to sell us things. I don't think happiness exists. I think contentment and gratitude and being in your own mental space and enjoying it and understanding that not everything's going to be all blissful and happy all the time, and you can have bad moments no matter how good your life is,
Yeah, it's about not chucking a baby out with a bathwater, isn't it? You're gonna have challenge. I don't call them bad days. You're gonna have challenging days. It's life. Our ancestors in the when they lived in the caves would have, I'm sure they had challenging days, but it's how you interpret them and how you approach them and how you keep your mood on an even keel. And I'm guessing it's about acceptance, isn't it? Just accept that not every day is going to be brilliant, and why should it be?
Yeah, I think that's the key that you just said there, acceptance, Definitely.
Yeah, when I was chatting to Rob the other night, I was trying to explain, it doesn't matter if I wake up and I'm in a bit of a bad mood, but I still know in my core, I'm really lucky, everything's all right. Sun's gonna shine even if it's behind a cloud. Get on, keep smashing it. It's just it just becomes a part of you in the end, but it must be horrible to get out of bed in that bad mood, and then that mood dictates your whole day because you don't know how to, you don't understand it and you don't know how to deal with it.
I think something you said there, Chris, is literally what I've been promoting for a while now, is how I start my morning and my morning routine. So if you start with a routine and starting your day with a negative thought, your rest of your day will come with a negative thought. They just keep flowing. And you just said then you wake up and you're grateful for the sun shining and these other things and everything's okay. And it's that form of gratitude. And for me, waking up in the morning when our brain's very neuroplastic and very just woken up and very receptive to information, instead of going on your phone and looking at all the crap on the news and all the fear and all the stress and all the comparison on social media, maybe don't do that, and maybe just think of all the things you're grateful for in the day. The affirmations I set to myself. I've got a warm bed I'm sleeping in. I'm not on the streets. I'm in a warm bed. I've got a beautiful girl next to me. I live in a beautiful part of the world. The sun is shining. I live in Australia. It mostly is. I've got all these things that are really good for me. So no matter what, and no matter how bad that situation is, first thing when I wake up in the morning, say all these things I say that I'm grateful for, and starting that day that way. And I also to go to bed that way as well. I go to bed saying thanks to my body for doing the things that it does for me without me asking it to. I make sure I'm grateful to it. It's done a lot for me, and I've battered it a lot, and I'm trying to make up for it.
Yeah, it seems like you're doing a cracking job. So I think we're talking gratitude. Thank you, Mother Nature, for this chance on this earth. Whatever we are, wherever we come from, that's irrelevant. Don't get too caught up in thinking of the whys, the what ifs. Gratitude. No one said life's supposed to be easy. Why should it? Just get on and deal with it. Yeah. So, what do you follow any particular diet?
So my background is in nutrition. I'm a dietitian, so that's my background now. I went to university after the Marines, and I've studied dietetics, and now I'm just finishing a degree in gut microbiology. So my thing is about diet. My thing is about nutrition. My thing is about helping others now, and that's my purpose. That's what I really do, is push other people and help other people realize their full potential. So nutrition is key. Nutrition is the fuel that we put into our car, you know, and if we're going to put crap in it, it's only going to give you crap out of it. It's just a terrible oil if you're giving yourself bad food. So I fast pretty much every day or every other day. Yeah, I don't necessarily put myself in a certain bracket of a particular diet. I eat good whole food. I fast daily. I don't think being bombarded all the time with constant food all the time, it's good for our digestive tract and our mental state and our bodies in general. We never used to in the wild. When we were living in the wild, we'd hunt food and then not eat for a few days. We'd eat berries or something, and then we'd catch another meal, or we wouldn't catch anything and we'd just fast for a week. So I'd fast. I eat good food. I eat good organic food. But if I want to eat something and treat myself to it, I'll do that. So I'll have like a tub of coconut ice cream. I don't eat a lot of sugar. I don't eat crap anymore. I look after myself as best as I can. So, you know.
Mate, it sounds like you're doing a brilliant job. Listen, let's resume this chat at another point, because we've literally just done a quick sort of appraisal of where we're at, and hopefully it will, well, not hopefully, I mean, it will resonate with many people. If depending on where you are at your stage of the journey, isn't it, is when we become receptive to
definitely.
The information is there if you open your eyes at the right times in your stages of life. Is that about right?
Yeah, well, you tell me, 15 years ago or 20 years ago, and you was talking like this, what would you say to yourself? You know?
I'd say, who are you?
Myself, 15 years ago, I'd be like, who's this weird hippie? Do you know what I mean? I'd be like, who's this weird hippie? Go and have a wash. So, like, whereas now, that's the people I surround myself around. I'm trying to build that tribe now, you know, like, of people that are like-minded like myself and want to try and do better for the world and put good information out there and do good stuff.
Yeah. Ryan, you've been absolutely excellent. As I said, we're going to pick this chat up again at another time.
Pleasure.
Give my regards to Australia, or as it's say g'day.
G'day.
And I'll catch you soon, brother. Okay.
Cheers, buddy. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Cheers. Hello, friend. I hope this finds you well. My name's Chris THRALL. I'm a former Royal Marines Commando, and I fought my way back from chronic trauma and addiction to live, work and travel in 80 countries across all 7 continents, achieving all of my dreams and goals along the way. Now I pass my simple system on to other people, but I can only help you if you like and subscribe. So please do so, because you get one life, and if you live it right, one is enough.